Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Tiara Ray, and this is Tiara's World. On today's episode, I'm gonna be teaching you how I cook a steak in a cast iron skillet. It's actually my favorite way to cook a steak. It's so much easier than grilling in my opinion, and it always comes out chef's kiss, amazing. So let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing that I always do is let my steak sit out for about an hour so it just comes to room temperature. And then you're going to want to, this is a really thick steak, so we're gonna cook it a little bit longer today. I usually like my steak medium rare. So I'm going to grab some paper towels and dab it. You wanna get all the extra moisture out so when you put it in the hot pan, it sears really nicely. So I'm just gonna take a paper towel and dab the steak and get all the extra moisture out of it. Perfect. Okay, and now we're gonna season the steak, and I'm gonna start heating up my cast iron skillet on the stove. You want that to be really hot before you put the steak in, so it's searing it right away, super hot. Okay, and then we're also gonna broil it after we sear it on the cast iron. We're also gonna broil it. So I'm gonna turn the broiler on high, and we're gonna season the steak and also heat up our pan. So today I'm gonna do something simple, and we're just gonna do some Himalayan sea salt, black pepper, and some all-purpose seasoning, because I'm going to top it with this delicious honey truffle goat cheese that I got from Whole Foods. I'm obsessed, it's so good. Yeah, but you guys can do whatever you want, whatever kind of seasoning you like on your steak. If you want to marinate it, whatever you like. Okay, so once we have our pan nice and hot and you see some bubbles from either the oil or the butter, that's when you know it's ready. You can also just like take a little bit of water and splash it in there, and if it starts bubbling up, then you know that it's good to go, because you want to make sure it's really hot. So our pan is ready. You can hear it, the nice sizzling sound. I love that sound. Okay, so we're gonna set our timer. Since this is a really thick steak and I want it medium rare, we're gonna set the timer for 3 minutes on this side. And then after 3 minutes, we're gonna flip it and sear it on the other side for 3 minutes. Okay, so we have about 5 more seconds, and we're gonna flip this baby over. Ooh, look at that beautiful sear. So 3 minutes on one side, 3 minutes on the other side, and then we're gonna let it rest for about 3 to 5 minutes before we put it under the broiler. So depending on how you like your steak cooked, I like my medium rare, like I said. If you wanted it more rare, you would just sear it a little bit less and broil it a little bit less. And if you wanted it cooked more, you would just add a little bit more time, maybe like a minute or two. Also, like I said, it depends on how thick your steak is. Usually I don't get a steak this thick. I like to get it about 1 inch thick. And then I would only sear it for about 2 minutes on each side and put it in the broiler for 3 to 4 minutes for a medium rare steak. But since this is about 2 inches thick, I'm searing it a little bit longer than I typically would, and I'm gonna broil it for a little bit longer as well. Okay, so we did 3 minutes on both sides. We're gonna turn the heat off, and I'm gonna take the steak out of the pan and let it sit on the cutting board 3 to 5 minutes. So it's important to let the steak rest so that the temperature throughout is the same, and it gives it a second to cool back down. So then when you put it back in the broiler, it's cooked thoroughly throughout. Okay, so now that I've let the steak rest for 5 minutes, we're gonna put it right back into the cast iron skillet. which is still hot, as you can tell. And we're gonna put it in the oven. And I have it broiling on high. And we're gonna set the timer for 5 minutes. Also, you wanna make sure that the oven rack is really almost as high as it can go with still being able to put the pan in, or the cast iron skillet in, so that it's close to the broiler at the top. Okay, so it's almost been 5 minutes. We're gonna take it out and flip it over and do another 5 minutes on the other side. Okay, so I'm actually, since I want to put the goat cheese on it, I'm going to set it for 4 minutes on the broiler, and then the last minute I'll add the goat cheese and turn the broiler off so that it doesn't brown the goat cheese, because I don't really like my goat cheese browned. I just want it melted a little bit. Okay, so I have my honey truffle goat cheese on a spoon. It's been 4 minutes of broiling. I'm going to pull this baby out. Try not to get splashed with hot oil. Put this right on top. And then I'm just gonna turn the broiler off. Push this right back in. And set the timer for 1 minute. Okay, so it's been a minute. We're gonna take it out of the oven. Okay, so our goat cheese didn't melt a lot. It melted a little bit, which is fine. It'll melt a little bit more while it's resting. There we go. All right, so now we're gonna let the steak rest for about 5 to 10 minutes. That's just gonna help keep the moisture inside the steak so it doesn't dry out the steak. You don't wanna cut into a steak right away after it's done cooking. So you wanna let it rest 5 to 10 minutes. So we're gonna do that. So usually when I'm in the kitchen, I'm cooking multiple things at once and I'm not recording myself. So I just wanted to focus on the steak tonight. But if you want quick and easy sides, this brand Alexia, I love their cauliflower mash. They have a really good cauliflower and broccoli with like cheese on it. I haven't tried the Brussels sprouts, so we're gonna try those tonight. But they're really good. They don't have a bunch of preservatives in them. Probably the healthiest that I've been able to find. So I definitely recommend, and they don't taste healthy. They taste really good. So that's what we're gonna have with our steak tonight. I'm just heating it up while we let the steak rest. I just realized it's super smoky in here because usually I'll put the vent on, but that was gonna be really loud, so I didn't turn it on. So definitely do that. Okay, so I've let this rest for about 8 or 9 minutes. Moment of truth. Let's see if I cooked it medium rare. Oh, you see that? Perfect. So excited. It's gonna be so good. I'm probably gonna put even more goat cheese on it. I think we need an up close of this baby. Literally perfectly cooked, exactly how I like it. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed cooking a steak with me, and I hope you learned something. Let me know if you try this method. I hope you guys have a great day. Bye, see you next time.